Hey guys, this is Bert from Inside Outline and welcome back to another Cricut video. In today's video, I will be showing you 30 different Cricut hacks, tips, and tricks. A couple of these you may have already seen before, but I have done some research to pull in some new hacks that you may have not seen before. So before I jump into this video, I need you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Let's jump right in. The first Cricut hack is using the Font Bookmark. This is a relatively new feature in Cricut Design Space. So I have typed up my text and I'm going to click on Font, and then I clicked on System just so that I can see some of the different fonts that are available on my computer. And then what I'm going to do next is to click the Bookmark tool, and here you can see some of the fonts that I have bookmarked. You see the green icon selected on the side. If I click on any of the green buttons, it's going to remove that bookmark. So coming back over here, I'm just going to scroll down and then select a font that I want to bookmark, and then I'm going to go back over to the bookmark screen so that I can see that font that has been bookmarked. And so again, if you click on that font again or click on that icon to remove the bookmark, but then you can click it again to add that bookmark back on there. So be sure to bookmark any of your favorite fonts in Cricut Design Space. So the next hack is using the Design Space learning plan that is available in Cricut Design Space. This is a very new feature, and once you click on that learning plan, you can see videos that walk you through getting to know your Cricut machine. I just fast forwarded through this video and then turned on the captions as well. Once you're done watching that video, you can just click the done button down at the bottom, and then it is going to take you to the next video in the sequence. If you click on one of the lessons, it'll show you how to make those projects, what you'll learn, and what materials you'll need as well. Here you just see me clicking the replace button, and once you start making an actual project, it has these step-by-step buttons that you can click on to walk you through. So there are some instructions right there, and then if you click the blue button or arrow at the bottom of the screen, it'll basically progress you through how to create that project for yourself. So this is a pretty cool feature that's very new to Cricut Design Space. If you are a Cricut beginner or a Cricut newbie, I definitely suggest that you check out the learning plan. In just a second, I'm gonna go back to the learning plan just so you can see some of the different components that are within the learning plan. So here I am clicking on learning plan again, and then I'm just going to scroll down so that you can see some of the other components. They have vinyl, you can see the different videos and things within that section of the learning plan. And then just scrolling down, they have paper and iron-on as well. So again, if you're a Cricut newbie, you definitely want to be sure to check out the learning plan. Be sure to take some time just to figure out how to use Design Space. There are two different ways that you can access the learning plan: by clicking the three horizontal bars in the top left of the screen, and you can also just click the learning plan button at the top of Cricut Design Space. The next hack is basically creating a template for when you print then cut. So what you see me doing is adding a square, and I'm going to resize that square to become a rectangle that is 6.25 by 9.75 inches. You can reverse those numbers if you want, so it'll be 9.75 inches by 6.25 inches. And basically what this does is allow you to see what your print and cut area is for your project. So what you see me doing right now is moving these stickers or my magnets, moving them around so that I can fit them within the print and cut area, which is that gray rectangle that you see in the back. So I'm just moving things around, resizing them just to make sure that everything fits perfectly. And I suggest doing this whenever you're creating stickers, or you could be creating let's say a print and cut t-shirt. I do have a video showing you how to do this exact thing. So be sure to check out that video that's linked down below in the description box. Once I have everything resized, what I'm going to do is to hide that gray box in the background, and then I am going to be sure to attach all of the designs so that they can print and cut the way that they appear on the screen right now. And then once I do that, I am going to click the Make It button and finish creating my project. So that is very simple and easy to do. Also, be sure to check out my Cricut printer video. The next hack is basically the same as creating that box for the print and cut, but with this one we're just creating a box. So let's say that you want to cut some stars out of a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So what I'm going to do is click on this star and add it to my canvas. I'm going to resize it, and then I'm also going to give it a different color. Once I get done with that, I'm going to add a square to my canvas, and then I'm going to change the size of that square to be 12 by 12. And again, I'm doing that because we're anticipating, or our cardstock is 12 by 12. So I'm going to send that square to the back so that my star will be on top. And then what I'm going to start doing is basically creating duplicates of this star, just to see how many stars I can get on this 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. So what you see me doing is making a duplicate, then moving them over just to see how many I can get across the top. Okay, so once I have my first row complete, I'm going to select all of them, and then what I'm going to do is click the align button. I want to align them to the top just to make sure they're all even. Then I'm going to, make that a group and just start duplicating those rows. So I'm going to try to get as many stars on this one sheet as possible. And again, this helps you to be able to maximize your, your materials that you're using. So I'm going to attach all of these. First, align them all to the left and then attach them so that they can cut the way they appear on the screen. And then I'm going to hide that gray box because I don't need it anymore. And then I'll click the Make It button. I'll click on For Any Material and then click Continue. It looks like it's going to require me to use my long mat, and I only want to use my 12 by 12 mat. So I'm going to go back, detach all of these stars, and then just move up some of the rows so that I can use my 12 by 12 mat instead of my 12 by 24 mat. So I'm going to try to get them as close as possible and see how that works for me. So just going to keep moving them up on the screen and then attach them, and then click the align left and then attach them, and then click the Make It button and see what that does. And it looks like I'm going to need my long mat again, so just go back and make those changes. The next hack is basically creating multiple designs using the contour button. So what I'm doing is searching through the images, and I did turn on the free filter over on the left side. I'm going to find a design, and then I am going to add it to my canvas. So once I find a good design that I can contour, I'm going to add that to my canvas. I think I like that one, so I add it to my canvas. And then what I need to do is to ungroup this design so you can see the different layers. So that's one layer, and then my text is another layer. So what I'm going to do is to basically create a duplicate so I can start making those changes that I want to see. So again, I had this design selected, and you can see there is a box around it. I'm going to click the contour button, and then I'm just going to hide the boxes, and so I'll just be left with the text then. So as you can see, I am left with the text. So on the next design, I'm going to hide the text and then keep the box. So I'm going to click the contour button, and I'm going to select all of my text. And then I'm actually going to click hide all contours, and then, just deselect the box because I still want to see the box. And this is what that looks like. And so from here, you can start changing up the colors of different pieces of your design. I'm going to take this design a little bit further. So I'm going to click on the text and make a duplicate of it. And let's say that I want, the top text and the bottom text to be separate. Click on contour. I want to remove the all the part. So I'm going to click on those letters. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and try to get those inside pieces of all and the, and click the X. And so now it just says making things. And so I'll just click the text tool to add my own text in there. If you want to use a different font, that's, one of the intents of doing it this way. Also, I'll be able to, just change up the color of that font if I wanted to. So I'm going up top, and then I'm just going to change up the font to be one that's already on my computer system. Again, there are a couple different ways that you can do this. You could contour, or you could also slice, but in this example I'm showing you how to use that contour tool. So again, I changed up the font to be a font that I wanted, that I downloaded from Dafont.com. Be sure to check out Dafont.com if you are not familiar with that. So I'm just making my text a little bit smaller, and then obviously I have some space at the top and bottom of the making things, so I could, you know, contour out the design. And as you can see, I'm trying to make that text a little bit bigger. I could contour, you know, the two pieces separately, so that making would be separate from things. But I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. So I'm just still increasing the font of that. And that looks okay. That looks good. But what I'm going to do is to contour out one of my words. And then again, as I mentioned, you can also slice. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do both of those things. So for this one, I'm going to contour. So I'm going to contour out the word making. So I'm just going to click on all those pieces to basically delete them. And I want to make sure I get all the pieces. And then I'm going to click the X at the top to go back to my screen. And you can see that things is left. Now, what I'm going to show you how to do on the right side is basically to slice it out. So what I'm going to do is to add a square to the canvas, put it over things because I want to, you know, cut that part out. I'm going to resize my box so it can cover the whole text, and then select and then click slice. So now my making and things are two separate pieces. So I'm going to delete out the pieces that I do not need. And then from here, you know, I'm going to delete that piece. And then from here, I can switch up my colors. Now I can edit this design, whereas before it was just one design and that is all that I had. But if you know how to use slice, if you know how to use contour, you can take one design and turn it into multiple designs. So what I'm going to do next is to just add some color just to make this design a little bit more colorful. I have that text there. I'm resizing that text to fit inside of that box. So again, just be sure to, you know, play around with the contour tool, because again, you can create multiple designs with it. And also be sure to check out different videos on how to contour and to make multiple designs out of one design. This next hack is finding projects in Design Space. So you have projects, images, and community on your home screen. I'm going to click on projects first. There are a lot of projects here in Design Space. This is a filter that you can scroll through and see the different types of projects that are available. I'm going to click on free projects, and you can see there are 148 projects that are for free. You can scroll through them and see there are a lot of different shirts and things. Going back, I'm going to click on images. So images is a little bit different because it's basically different images that you can use within your Cricut project. Some of these are free, some of them are paid. You know, if you click on the free filter, you can see some of the ones that are free for you to use. Then you also have additional filters on the left side. You can choose cut projects. You can choose projects that are layer or single, multi-layer or single layered. You just have a lot of different filter options that are available. Moving on, if you click on community, these are projects that people like you and I have created. So they're just projects that people in the community have shared. Some of them are free and others are paid. This one costs $198. And that's because they do use some different pieces in Design Space that are for sale. This one, you know, this one is $198, but obviously if you subscribe to Cricut Access, it's free to you. This next project I'm going to click on, this is a free project, so I'm just going to click edit a copy, and this is going to allow me to edit a copy of this project and, you know, change up any other colors or whatever for myself. I do think that this project is free. It may be only free for, you know, people that subscribe to Cricut Access. But again, that's just one of the ways that you can find projects to create. You know, explore the project section, explore the images section, and also explore the community section, because you'll get some really good ideas that you probably never thought about. And then you can, you know, edit the design like I'm doing right here with this one. So use Cricut Design Space to the maximum to determine the different types of projects that you can create using your Cricut machine. This next hack is to use other tools like Canva and Dafont when creating SVG files and different projects for Cricut Design Space. So here you see me in Canva. I'm just adding different SVG files to the screen, and then I'm going to download them and then upload them to Cricut Design Space. Canva Pro, you do have to subscribe to it to download SVG files, but also be sure to you know, just sign up for Canva for a lot of different things as well. This is Dafont.com. You can see I typed in my name just to see how it looks in a lot of different fonts. The font is free, so you just find a font that you like, you download it to your computer, and then you can use it in Design Space. You can use it in Microsoft Office. So be sure to check out Canva and Dafont, and I have links to both down below in the description box. So this next hack is basically allowing you to open up a new Cricut window. So let's say that you have multiple Cricut machines and you want to be able to cut on both of those machines at the same time. All you have to do is open up a new Cricut window. So what I just did was to add some images to my canvas. I'm going to resize them and move them around on the screen. Now let's say I'm ready to open up a new window. All I do is click File, New Window. It's going to pull up a new window, and then all I have to do is to click on New Project over in the top right, and what you can see me doing is, you know, sliding the screen over. So I'm going to click on New Project, then move the screen over so you can see I have both of those windows open right now. Going to add some images to this screen. Make sure I click the free filter, find a couple images to add to the screen. I will say be sure to check out some of these pretty cool images that Cricut Design Space has available. On this next screen, what I'm going to do is to, you know, once I have all of my images, I'm going to add them to the canvas. Then I'm going to resize them a little bit. And then please note that on this screen next to the Make It button, for this screen, I have my Maker 3. On the next screen, I'm going to choose my Cricut Explorer Air 2. So again, opening up different windows allows you to cut different projects for your different machines. So be sure to take advantage of that if you have more than one Cricut machine, or if you just want to create different projects in different windows. This next hack is creating a knockout design in Cricut Design Space. So what I'm doing is to add my text. I'm going to go up and show you the font that I'm using. I'm using the Arial Black font. And then I'm just going to move that over, add my text again, and type, you know, the rest of my text that I want to use. Then I'll go up top, or resize it first, and then go up top and change the font to I Love Glitter. And that is a font that I got from Dafont.com for free. So be sure to check that out. And then I'm just going to resize that a little bit. Then I'm going to open up my Finder window and open up my font book. If you're using a Windows PC, you want to use your character map. So what I'm going to do is click on all fonts, and then I'm going to search for glitter and click on that. So I'm going to copy this heart. So I'm going to go up top, click edit, and then click copy, go back over to Cricut Design Space, double click in that box, and then just paste in those hearts. Okay. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to use the offset tool to create an offset of my text. So go up top and click offset, and then I'm just going to move the dial over to the left a little bit. You can also plug in the numbers if you want to make your offset a little bit different. And once you're done, you just click apply, and then I'm just going to hide my text and then move that offset up top. Once it's where I want it, I am going to click everything and then click slice, and then I'm going to delete out the parts that I do not need. And then once I have all of those deleted, I am going to turn on my text again and bring it up so that it fits within that knockout. And this doesn't look super appealing, but you get the overall gist of what I'm trying to do. So then what I'm going to do is to change up the colors of the both text, and it's just as simple as that. So be sure to create knockout designs in Cricut Design Space the easy way. With this next hack, I'm showing you how to upload your own writing. So I have some paper here, and I'm using a dry erase marker for this. I'm just going to type or write my name and put a little heart at the end. And then I'm going to take a picture with my phone, and then I'm going to send it to myself. Here I have this website that I'm going to use. Upload the image, find that image on my computer and click open. And then you can see that picture that I took on my phone right here. And then once I clicked on, that, I'm going to download it to my computer and click save. Then I'm going to hop over to Cricut Design Space and upload that image, find it on my computer, and then click complex. And then, this is what it looks like. I don't need to erase anything. Click on the cut image and then click upload. And it's just as easy as that. So be sure to use that website. The website is linked down below in the description box. Use that to upload your own writing to Cricut Design Space and add a personal touch to your designs. This next hack is basically bookmarking images in Cricut Design Space. So again, just like when you bookmark fonts, Cricut also allows you to bookmark images that you like and you want to use often. So here you see me clicking on the bookmark for some different images that I like. And then what I'm going to do is to go over on the left to bookmark, and then you can see all the images that I have bookmarked so far. So again, if you click on the green, you will remove the bookmark, but if you go back to your images or uncheck bookmark, go back to all the images, and these are all the free images, and then you can just choose different images that you want to bookmark. If there's one that you don't like anymore, you can unbookmark it. So be sure to bookmark images in Cricut Design Space that you like and want to use often. This next hack is cleaning your mats with Windex. I know a lot of people use a lot of different types of projects that they clean their mats with, but here you just see me spraying that Windex on the mat. I also have a wet one that I'm using as well to kind of get off that excess Windex from my mat. So just using that Windex and using my scraper to scrape off all the slimy stuff from the mat. And you can see what that gunk looks like. So I'm just using that wipe to remove it off, using that scraper to keep scraping and cleaning. So be sure to use some Windex to clean off your Cricut mats just to extend the life of them. You can see how sticky my mat is again at the top. So this next hack is cutting multiple colors on one mat. So I have my vinyl scraps right here, and then I just have them all on my mat. Now you can see them cutting, but this allows you to be able to use one mat and not have to put vinyl down and take it off. This allows you to place your vinyl where you want it. You have to place it on the screen in the correct place as well, but it allows you to cut all of your pieces on one mat. You can see what those finished drink pouches look like, but take advantage of this, especially when you're using scraps and things like that to create your projects. This next hack is using adhesive spray and double-sided tape on mats. So if you have a mat and it's pretty old, but you're not ready to toss it out just yet, or you haven't made time to clean it, go ahead and spray some spray adhesive on it, or you can also use double-sided tape to adhere your material down to your mat. So here I'm just adding some of that double-sided tape, and then I'm going to add some HTV on it, but it works perfectly. It's not a long-term solution, but it definitely helps. This next hack is writing with my Dollar Tree marker. So I compared the Cricut pen to the marker from Dollar Tree. I ended up tying the rubber bands around the marker, but I did not end up needing them. Later you'll see me taking the rubber band off and pulling it up to the top or the bottom of the marker. So then my Cricut machine is going to write with this marker, and I absolutely loved how it looked. So if you're looking for some inexpensive markers to use with your Cricut machine, be sure to get these from Dollar Tree. This next hack is keeping the excess vinyl from material. So here I use some iron-on from Dollar Tree, and you can see me cutting off the extra and just sitting it to the side. So be sure to do that as well. This next hack is reverse weeding, and it's perfect for small designs with tiny pieces. So you saw me put the transfer tape down on top, and what I'm doing is just weeding out the design as I normally would, but this just allows me to already have my design on the transfer tape and not lose any of those key pieces that I need. So be sure to try this. This next hack is using flour to help you weed. I know some people have used baby powder before, but I personally don't keep any baby powder on hand, so I'm just going to use this flour, scoop a little bit out of it and put it onto my vinyl. And this works especially for darker color vinyl. So if you don't have any baby powder on hand, be sure to use flour or cornstarch or anything like that to help you weed your design. The next hack is this Tweexy tool. I recorded a video on this Tweexy tool. It was called my Cricut must-haves video. That video is linked down below in the description box. But as you can see right here in this video, I'm using my Tweexy, and it's on my fingers, but I'm using it to help me weed out my design. So if you need some assistance weeding, be sure to get you one of these Tweexy tools. This next hack is using the bottom of your weeder to weed. Again, you can take off the bottom part of your weeder tool and use it to put those little scrap pieces in there. That wasn't working for me so well, so what I ended up doing was to use that Tweexy tool that I mentioned in the last hack. So do whatever works best for you, but I think that having a lot of different weeding tools on hand definitely can help with the weeding process when you're crafting. This next hack is using that same transfer tape over and over as I did in this video. This is a way to save money on transfer tape to keep using it for different projects. This next hack is using a lint roller as transfer tape. So what I did first was to weed out my design. Then I peeled off a piece of that lint roller, that sticky part, and I put it down onto my design. Use my scraper to press down on that design, and then I am going to press it or use it to put down on this little box that I got from Dollar Tree. So if you don't have any transfer tape on hand, be sure to get your lint roller and use that as your transfer tape. This next hack is using a gift card as a scraper. That's actually a gas card, but if you have a gift card or a gas card, you can use that as a scraper. Just weeded out my design, put that transfer tape on top, use that gas card to press down on that design, and then I'm going to apply it to that same little box that I got from Dollar Tree. So use your gift cards as scrapers. This next hack is the wet vinyl method, and what you do is you first weed out your design and put your transfer tape on it. Get some water and spray it onto your surface, and this basically allows you to precisely place your design where you want it on your surface. So then I use the paper towel to kind of dab up some of that excess water, use my scraper to push down hard on it. So use this method whenever you need to place a design down accurately. This next hack is using toilet paper rolls to identify vinyl. So if you're like me, you have lots of vinyl on hand, and if you need to identify them, you just keep those toilet paper rolls, cut them up, slice it just like I did there. Write on it what type of vinyl it is, and then just slide it onto your vinyl roll. And this allows you to keep up with HTV and adhesive vinyl very easily. This next hack is using parchment paper to layer vinyl. With this, what I'm going to do first is to weed out my design, and then I'm going to put some transfer tape down on top of one of my designs, and then use that parchment paper in between the two designs to help me line it up very easily. I must say that I did enjoy this process of layering my vinyl because I don't think that I could have done it better without the parchment paper. This next hack is using other brand products. So these tools right here, they are just like Cricut tools, but I got them from Dollar Tree for $1.25. This mat is also a Paper Studio mat from Hobby Lobby. I typically use Teflon sheets, but if you don't have Teflon sheets, you can use parchment paper just like this to place on top of your design. I did record a video on how to make this print then cut shirt, and then I put that parchment paper down on top of it. But if you do not have a Teflon sheet, you can obviously use this parchment paper for your design. So you can use parchment paper in a lot of different types of Cricut projects. So keep that on hand in your craft room. This next hack is if you have an older machine and keeping the dial set to custom. So on the older machine, you have a dial that you can rotate around for the different materials. But if you keep it on custom, you never have to change it on the dial, and it and it makes you less likely to accidentally cut a material on a different setting that you're not supposed to. So keep your older machine on the custom setting. This next hack is pressing the go button before you unload thick material. So what I'm doing right now is cutting some glitter cardstock, and my machine is going to stop, and you can see that light flashing. So I'm going to press that play button again so that it can start cutting out my design one more time. It's best to do this whenever you have thick material, just to make sure that your Cricut machine cuts all the way through. So as you will see, I'm going to unload my material, and this is what the finished result looks like. So this last hack is to clean your blade after cutting glitter cardstock. As you can see, I'm unloading that blade from my Cricut machine, and there's a little bit of glitter on there. So I'm just going to use a piece of aluminum foil to get that glitter off. You can also do this whenever your blade gets dull and just to keep it sharp. I've been using the same blade for a really long time, so this actually does work for me. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video on 30 different Cricut hacks, tips, and tricks. If you have some additional ideas that I did not include in this video, please feel free to leave them down below. If you have any questions or comments, also leave those down below. For links to some of the videos that I mentioned, please look in the description box down below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.